Welcome to The Newsworthy. All the day's news in less than 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. Today, we're talking about everything from a judge blocking the president's plan for asylum seekers to a warning not to eat romaine lettuce, plus robots working at Kroger and holiday deals. Those stories and many more in less than 10 minutes. I'm Erica Mandy. Today is Wednesday, November 21st. You ready? Let's do this. Well, the way asylum claims work in the U.S. is now going back to the way it was for now. The AP reports a judge blocked President Trump's order to try and change it. Remember, earlier this month, President Trump signed an order to ban anyone from applying for asylum if they already crossed the southern border illegally, and to instead deport them immediately. He called it a national security threat. Advocacy groups, though, called it unlawful and said the order put lives in danger. Asylum claims are meant for people who fled their home countries due to life-threatening violence or war. President Trump's order said they have to go through a legal checkpoint. It was part of his plan to block the caravan of Central American migrants coming to the U.S. border. But this week, a federal judge said the president doesn't have the power to rewrite immigration laws, that instead Congress has to do it. So the judge said asylum applications will now be allowed again for everyone. It may only be a temporary block, though. It will likely be appealed, so this isn't over yet. Speaking of the migrant caravan, about 3,000 migrants are now waiting in a makeshift shelter area in Tijuana, Mexico, across from the border with San Diego. The New York Times reports it's turned into a sort of overwhelmed refugee camp, since the legal checkpoints can only process so many people at a time. Heavy rain in the forecast for California brings both relief and some new dangers. After 3 recent massive wildfires, the burned areas are now prone to flooding and mudslides. So CNN reports there's a new flash flood watch for the area devastated by the so-called Camp Fire in Northern California. And the watch will last today through Friday. The Red Cross is opening more shelters because many people who lost their homes in the fire are now forced to stay in tents in a Walmart parking lot. The weather will also impact the ongoing search for human remains in the burn areas. The latest death toll at this point is at 79, although it could rise again. The number of people unaccounted for is now down to 700. The good part of getting rain in the area, though, experts say it should end major fire concerns for the rest of the winter season. Also, there are more and more stories of people coming together to help. Our friends at Good, a media company that just celebrates the good in the world, found a couple of these. A high school volleyball team played against the high school affected by the fire in Paradise and gave their opponents all new uniforms and equipment, and the crowd also donated to the entire community. And a couple who plan to take a vacation are now instead helping evacuees, serving as many as 1,200 meals a day. By the way, you can pick up your own copy of the Good Newspaper at goodnewspaper.org. Do not eat romaine lettuce. That's what federal health officials are now saying to people in both the U.S. and Canada. It seems there's a new E. coli outbreak linked to romaine. NBC News reports at least 32 people have gotten sick from this outbreak. At this point, the CDC says just avoid all romaine lettuce, whether it's whole heads of romaine or bags and salad mixes. Health officials haven't been able to narrow it down just yet to one supplier. Remember, this is now the second outbreak this year linked to romaine lettuce. David's Bridal has filed for bankruptcy. Bloomberg reports it's part of a plan to cut its debt by more than $400 million. The Chapter 11 filing does not mean the chain will be shutting down for now, but it will restructure the business. The industry has seen marriage rates fall since the 80s, and of course, there's a lot of new competition with online options for wedding dresses. Grocery store giant Kroger is getting ready to build a high-tech robotic warehouse. Reuters reports the first one will go up in Kroger's hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio. But the plan is to build 20 of these warehouses, and it's in partnership with a UK-based grocery chain. Kroger is already the largest U.S. supermarket operator, but together they hope to dominate the grocery delivery business as well. The warehouses will apparently have robots that will pick and pack the groceries, reportedly putting together an order of about 50 items in just 5 minutes. But instead of taking away jobs, Kroger says it'll actually create more than 400 new jobs. The first facility is set to open in 2021. A program that pays to move cities is now accepting applications. The city of Tulsa, Oklahoma is offering $10,000 in grants, a desk at a co-working space, and meetups with others in the program. It's meant for remote workers willing to move to Tulsa and stay at least a year. CNBC says the program is called Tulsa Remote. It's a way the city is trying to draw in more tech workers and creatives that could eventually start new businesses to help shape the tech community there. If this sounds a little familiar, we've talked about it before, but now you can actually apply. More and more cities are doing something similar to attract young professionals, including Vermont and Maine. Several more stories still ahead, but a quick break now to thank today's sponsor, The Neat Company. The Neat Company helps you not only manage your finances faster and easier, but also store them in a safe, disaster-proof way. You can also keyword search your documents to find them again whenever you need them. No more searching through piles of paper and receipts. It is almost 2019, my friends, so start the new year fresh by getting your finances in order. This is especially useful for people who run any sort of business, freelancing gig, or side hustle. Really anyone who has a lot of monthly expenses and needs to keep track of them. Neat can save you up to 12 hours a week. It uses technology to automatically fill out the key data field, so all you have to do is upload the document or take a picture of the receipt. Try it out because the Neat Company is offering a free 30-day trial at neat.com/newsworthy. That's a free 30-day trial, so you can make sure you love it first. Just go to neat.com/newsworthy. Now, back to the news. Production is now underway on an experimental supersonic plane. NASA made a $250 million deal with the defense contractor Lockheed Martin. The goal is to build an aircraft that can reach supersonic speed, but, and here's the key, without the super loud sonic boom that typically comes from breaking the sound barrier. CNBC reports regulations did not allow for commercial supersonic planes over land, so Lockheed Martin and NASA want to create something that could ease those regulations. The technology is supposed to help the plane reach 940 miles per hour and only create a noise in line with a car door closing. Test flights are set to start in 2021. Many of you are likely traveling this week, so I'm curious, have you noticed airplane bathrooms getting smaller? The Washington Post reports newer planes on some airlines like American, Delta, and United Airlines have smaller bathrooms than before, just 24 inches wide. Compare that to a porta potty, for example, and those are typically about 34 inches wide. So why the change? The Post cites one manufacturer who says the new smaller bathrooms free up enough space for 6 more passengers on a plane, which of course means more ticket sales. Before you try to grab a good Black Friday deal for your next flight, you might consider this. The New York Times reports there's a growing trend for Travel Deal Tuesday. The Tuesday after Thanksgiving, so next week, might be the best time to find flight deals. An app called Hopper analyzed the data and found the most airline deals on that day in 2017. This year, it falls on November 27. But first, Black Friday. The day after Thanksgiving is, of course, known for the best discounts of the year, at least sometimes. Some stores even open the evening of Thanksgiving with some deals, like Best Buy opens at 5 p.m. on Thursday, but others are waiting until Friday, like Costco. ABC News has a full list of stores and hours, and I've put a link in today's show notes, along with some lists of the best tech deals for the holiday. But if you rather head to the movie theater than the mall, there are plenty of movies to see. Want family-friendly? There's Ralph Breaks the Internet, The Grinch, and Fantastic Beasts: Crimes of Grindelwald. Creed 2 or Bohemian Rhapsody if you're feeling nostalgic, or get serious with movies like Widows or A Star is Born is still out in theaters. Of course, there are many more, and USA Today has a long list of options with summaries of each of the movies. You'll find it all in today's show notes. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening. And heads up, there will be no new episodes of The Newsworthy tomorrow or Friday due to the Thanksgiving holiday, but we'll be back first thing Monday morning, catching you up on all the things you missed while eating pie. In the meantime, please be sure to tell your family about The Newsworthy while you'll be visiting. And remember, you can always read more about the news stories in this episode at thenewsworthy.com. Click episodes from the homepage and look for today's date. We'll be back on Monday. Have a great day and a very happy Thanksgiving.